Hey everybody, this is Kevin and I am here. I'm just monitoring the chat and waiting for some folks to jump in and we'll get the ball rolling here. Pun intended. Baseball. And rocket stuff. We got all sorts of stuff on the agenda today. As you probably noticed in my title, I had a lot of different items listed there. Oh, I scared some people off, I guess. As soon as I announced it, they jumped out. That's unfortunate. Maybe this big old box is intimidating. We'll set those down. Maybe set that more off to the side. There we go. Kind of readjust things here. We'll talk about some stuff. The latest and greatest news in the world of rocketry and baseball. What a combo, huh? This box is a little big like that. Turn it sideways. If the timing of this is confusing to anybody, you might have gotten a notification, you may not have, but I think I changed the start time on this stream at least 3 or 4 different times in the last hour. I couldn't settle on a time. I had a time set, then I ran downstairs, talked to the wife, and she told me what time dinner was, so I decided to change the start time. Then I went down, and she had the implication that I was starving, so she's like, well, I'll make dinner quickly, and I said, no, I don't want to rush it, so then I changed it again. Anyway, long story short, I think this is the 4th time I've changed it. When is the launch, Kevin? Which launch are you talking about, hobbyist? I've launched several times recently. Is there one in particular you're referring to? Because I don't have anything new other than what I just released on my video yesterday. The rocket launch. The rocket launch. Yeah, which one, hobbyist? I just uploaded a video. Oh, the one on the table. Oh, this is an old rocket. This has flown many times, but I was just going to talk about some modifications that I'm going to make to it. So yeah, this one isn't going to be launching anytime soon, but as you can see, it's got some battle damage. The fins have been broken off. But this is a Viking. And I was going to talk a little bit about this when more folks show up. In reference to what occurred in my video yesterday, if you happen to catch it, Joe from JC Hobbies came out here to Vegas, and we met up and spent a whole day practically out of the launch pad launching rockets. And he had a whole slew of Vikings, and we had some fun with those. We broke some records as far as altitude goes, and a little search and rescue involved as well, trying to find lost rockets. So yeah, that's what's going on. What's going on with you, buddy? How you been? You've been doing a lot of videos lately. I don't always comment on them, and I apologize for that, but I do watch, and good times. I want to get one of those Walgreens boxes. I think you opened one the other day, one of those massive boxes. If you don't mind me asking, how much is that giant box, that bulk box that you got? I don't know if it's called a mega box or what, but I have not seen that at my Walgreens yet. I hope to find one soon. $20, that ain't bad, really. For all you get there. Well, like I say, it's $20 worth of fun, right? When I open up my Fairfields, I might get maybe $1 worth back. Whoops, $1 worth of cards back, but for $5, it's a lot of fun, and that's probably the same way you feel about the $20 box. It was fun. Because I've had a lot of people tell me, don't waste your money on Fairfields. Well, if you don't waste your money on Fairfields, then depending on where you live, cards are not readily available for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone goes, oh, my Walmart's fully stocked. Oh, I go to Target and I get all these cards. I go to my Walmart, almost nothing, hardly ever. Target is never in stock here. So I'm lucky to get Fairfield when I can. So I stock up on what I can when it's available. So I just ignore the naysayers that whine and complain. There you go. See, exactly. Just build up slowly from the, a lot of people think, oh, they're just cheap cards. Yeah, but what if there's that one card you need to finish off like an 84 top set or something? And it's some random guy that no one's heard of, but you pull it out of a Fairfield, it's like a score, It's a beautiful thing. So I'll tell you what, hobbyist, if it's you and me tonight, what I'll do is I'll forego the rocket stuff unless you want me to explain it, but I got some kind of technical stuff to talk about. But we can just jump right into the baseball cards if you want. I got a Fairfield Friday box, but I've also got out of the blue, I got a package in the mail yesterday from Left Behind Times. And he has not sent me anything in quite a while, and not that I was waiting for it or I expected anything. But I have no idea what's in it. I kind of shook it a little bit. It has kind of a baseball card sound to it. So maybe he saw that, because I took a hiatus for a while. And hey, Chuck. And I haven't been opening cards like I used to, but I kind of started up again maybe a few weeks ago, kind of integrating the Rockets and the baseball cards together. And maybe Blake caught wind of that. But yeah, Chuck, I was showing the hobbyist here. Yesterday, out of the blue, I got this massive box from Blake. So I definitely got to rip into this, and it kind of sounds like baseball cards when I shake it. So I'm excited to see what that's all about. And I do want to open up a Fairfield Friday, just for fun. And if we get enough Rocket folks in later, I'm going to do some Rocket talk also. I want to share some experiences from the last video, kind of tell you some behind-the-scenes stuff of what all occurred with that search and rescue mission and everything, and kind of get you up to speed on that. But I'll hold off on the Rocket stuff till a little bit later. Let me make way for. Tell you what, let's get the ceremony started by opening up a Fairfield, because you never know what you're going to get with a Fairfield. Okay, sounds good, Curtis. All right, well, so we're going to open up some baseball cards. MH is in the house. That's Curtis, in case you don't know. So he's our resident Rocket guru. He's been a wealth of knowledge for me and everyone else in the chat. So, but while we wait for him, I do want to rip open this. And you got a dozen Fairfields. I don't know how many I've got. I think I've got some of the older ones with the clear windows, but of course you're getting more and more of these newer ones now that you can't see, and it feels like there's like this many in there. I mean, not even half. Well, when you eliminate the pack in there, it's definitely less than half a box. So, I just got a notification that Ethan's going live tonight in about 30 minutes, so I don't know how long this is going to last. And of course, Aaron will be going live later on. The red ones and blue ones with windows. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that they stopped doing that, because pack searchers would obviously, look in and see what they were getting and everything. So, but look at this beautiful pack of Fleer 91s. That's probably what scares people off from this anymore. Just the old junk wax. But like you said, hobbyist, it's a great way to build up sets. So let me set this up. Let me get a stand set up here. And I used to know the rule about Like Fairfield would always put the hit in the front pack, so I would open up the backpack first, and then anyway, with these new sets, I mean, see, that's not even what, half a box. Right at the half a box. Not well, no, it's shy of half a box. Look at that. Crazy. I remember when they were like bulging, they were so fat and full of cards. They say they do, but a lot less too. Look, 1 and 8. It used to be 1 and 4, remember? Now it's dropped to 1 and 8, and you get less than half the number of cards you used to. Maybe we'll get a provision cards. Mustard, oh, that's true. Those are the mustard cards. Oh, well, hey, in honor of, I got a Yankee on display, Chuck, so maybe the yellow, I jinxed it. I brought this rocket on, and what do we get? Yellow cards. Isn't that something? I've got some, maybe, I don't know if I've got 60s. I've got some 70s out of there. 60s is, that sounds pretty rare. I don't think I've ever gotten anything like that. So let me angle this down just a skosh, and we'll just kind of go through these here. We got Jimmy Key for the Yankees. Oh, we got some newer cards here. We got the Yankees here. Team card from 2021. That's a Viking. Did I say Yankee? If I said Yankee, it's a slip of the tongue. That's a Viking. I've been saying Yankee a lot lately with my recent attempt at 2,000 feet, so maybe I misspoke. But that's a Viking. He even says it right there. Thanks for correcting me. We got Mike Scioscia, Anaheim Angels manager. These are a pretty cool little design. I don't know if I've seen this design before. The top's 205 out of 2003. Okay, you're back, Curtis. That's okay, Curtis. Chuck is correcting me. For some reason, I was calling this a Yankee, and he corrected me. So, all right, we got. We're gonna do some rocket talk here in a bit, Curtis. I'm gonna go through these cards first. Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez. I really like that design. Oh, we got an old card coming up here. We've got Francisco Rodriguez and Francisco Rodriguez. So we're back at it, guys. Duplicate Fairfield double. There we go. He's pretty stoked about it. He's like, yeah, we got a double. Woo! Curtis, if you don't know, I'm notorious for pulling duplicate cards out of a... This is called a Fairfield box. Here, I should just set this on the table so you can see where these are coming from. But you get these at Walgreens for $5, and they're pretty much all junk cards, but they're fun to go through. But yeah, for $5, and like I said, I'm notorious for pulling at least one double, and I call them a Fairfield double. So just a weird thing. Okay, we got the old 1983 Expos, Chris Spear. Got a Frank DePino. Oh my goodness, we got a double-double. Got a double-double today. Got Frank DePino for the Cardinals. Okay. All right. Got Tim Leary for the Dodgers. Otis Nixon for the Expos. Mike Timlin for the Blue Jays. I always get doubles. Yeah. And I got a double-double this time. How about that? Bobby Thigpen for the White Sox. There you go, Chuck. We got Terry Matthews for the Rangers. And got another Ranger here. We got Rob Nen. Rob Nen. Never heard of him. Tom Herr for the Mets. Got Randy Kuchar for the Red Sox. Bryn Smith for the Expos. Mike Krukow for the Giants. Jim Leyland, manager card for the Pirates. Got Ron Oyster for the Reds. Jeff Russell for the Red Sox. Really? Well, you would know the history a lot better than I would, Chuck. I don't know. I don't even know, like, Diamondback and Padre history during that time where I was not collecting. Is there a reliever? Oh, he was with White Sox at least his whole career up to this point. Oh, he played in Hawaii, too. Cool. Got, oh, Ron Karkovice. There you go. There we go, Chuck. See, once I start paying attention to you, it starts popping out. And, of course, you know me. I like to say Ron Karkovice. I know it's Karkovice, but Karkovice is just so much more fun to say. I got John Patterson for the Giants. Greg Olson for the Orioles. Carlos Hernandez for the Dodgers. And, you know, I don't think I've pulled a hit yet since I started with the new boxes. And this is probably, I don't know, at least 10 or 15th box. I've opened a ton of these, and I've not once pulled a hit out of the new boxes. Kind of strange. But, however, for my son's birthday, I may have already told this story. I bought my son three boxes of these, but football, and the same thing, 1 out of 8. And I said, open up 2 on your birthday, at the birthday table. So he did. He took the third one, to his room and opened it later. But the 2 he opened in front of all of us, both of them had relics, jersey piece relics in the 2 boxes he opened. It's like, what are the odds? Oh, he was not a good hitter, huh? Oh, he held a record for the most saves. Okay. Well, I wish he'd come back and maybe rejoin some teams that could use some relief help. Hint, hint, the D-backs. Carlos Baerga for the Indians. Paul Assenmacher for the Cubs. Jerome Burnitz for the Mets. Real Cormier for the Cardinals. John Denny for the Reds. So we got a triple-double, guys. Got 2 John Denny's for the the Reds. That might be I know I've gotten double-doubles before. I don't know about a triple-double. I've got triples before, but not triple-doubles. So that is unique. Really? I didn't know that, Chuck. Man, I thought he could outrun anybody. Ted Wood for the Giants. We got Dave Anderson for the Dodgers. Bill Wilkinson for the Mariners. Lee Mazzilli for the Mets. Pat Sheridan for the Tigers. And backwards card means nothing in Fairfield. Nelson Liriano, rookie card for the Blue Jays. Walt Terrell for the Tigers. Mets leaders card. Corey Snyder. What a nice guy. Everyone probably knows the story. I met him at a card shop or card show. And for $20, you can get your picture taken with them. I said, no, I got plenty of pictures of you at home on cards. I don't need to pay $20 to get a more recent picture. Ken Daly for the Cardinals. And our last one is another Karkovice. See, there you go, Chuck. You start bragging on somebody and boom, you know my luck. That's the way it works in my stream. You start talking about somebody or something and they really start flowing in. So there you go. Boom. Yeah, there you go. That was pretty cool. See, those are the fun things I like about Fairfields. They're not, you're not getting, tons of value out of it, but it's just, you do get tons of value worth of fun. And I love those little things that pop up like that, like getting all those Karkovices. So there you go. That's a Fairfield. Cool. Let me set these aside. Oh, I still got that pack to go through. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lay, because they're mustard cards, I'm going to lay my mustard rocket as backdrop. How's that? Talk about a planned set on stage here. Give me 1 second, folks. Got to knock at the door. Right as I cracked open the pack, there was a knock at my door. Oh, that's true. Relish on the rocket, too. And Chuck, see, there you go. And who do we get out of our pack? We get a White Sox sticker. Pretty. That's it. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that wax buildup. Chuck's like, man, this is an awesome Fairfield. All right, we'll set that Back there a little bit. All right. Let's see who we get. Matt Williams. There we go. Former D-back. Cool beans. Ron Oyster for the Reds. Chuck Malone for the Phillies. Juan Agosto. He was born in February. I bet you. Yep, born February 23rd. I remember every time I'd get him, I wonder if he was born in August. But no. I should have been more like these. Well, maybe all the D-back box. Well, no, there are no modern days. Fairfields don't have many D-backs just because of, the age of the cards. But maybe all the Padres went your way and all the White Sox cards came my way. Stan Belinda for the Pirates. Bryn Smith for the Cardinals. Todd Stottlemyre for the Blue Jays. Tim Belcher for the Dodgers. Craig Lefferts for the Giants. Frank Viola for the Mets. Mike Walker for the Indians. Gary Thurman. Bobby, did I already pull a Bobby Thigpen? Tom Bernansky. I don't know why did I just pull a Bobby Thigpen, or was that earlier? Was that in the regular stack of Fairfields, or was it in this pack? No, it was in the other pack. But there you go, Chuck. We're talking about Bobby Thigpen, last card. Very last card. We started off with a White Sox sticker, ended it with a Bobby Thigpen, and as you know, we got some good White Sox out of the regular box. So that's pretty cool. I love when things work out that way. All right. That was a nice pack. Absolutely. All right, let me set the Rockets aside again. We'll tell you what we'll do. Let me tell a couple Rocket stories before we open up this monster box. So I brought out one of my Vikings. I've got 2 Vikings that I've got built. This was the first one that I built. And the reason I'm showing this is because this is exactly what we were flying the other day with Joe from JC Hobbies. He loves Vikings. In fact, that's almost primarily, with the exception of the Venture, I think that's all he's flown is variants of the Viking out at where we fly together. But anyway, so I brought this because this is exactly the size and color of the rocket that's missing. If you guys remember that final flight that Joe made was a 3-stager. It was this rocket, well, one just like it, but he had a 2-stage attached to the bottom, but then he had another stage attached to that. So stage 1, 2, and then the motor in here made 3. And I'd never seen a 3-stager. He had seen one once before. I don't think it worked out too well. We were not sure if we were ever going to find it again, though, because he was hitting 2,000 feet with 2 stages, and then we went and launched a 3-stage, and lo and behold, we lost the rocket. I've gone out 2 more times since then, just on my own, out looking, walking around for an hour, hour and a half, each time wandering the desert like the Israelites with no direction, and well, they had direction, I didn't. But anyway, I've yet to find it. However, I did just recently find this lying on the ground. This was the motor from his first stage. So if you go back and watch that final 3-stage flight from Joe, this was the initial boost motor that got it off the pad, C60. And this tumbled down when it released and sent the second stage off. The second stage was also a C60, and then eventually it burned out and then lit the third stage, which was in the rocket itself, and that was a C67, which means there was a 7-second delay from the time of motor burnout until it ejected the parachute. So, but C60s mean there is no ejection, there's no delay. It just immediately ejects the next charge. So, anyway, found this. That's it so far. But this is what we're looking for out there. So hopefully soon I will find this. Now, one thing the other reason I brought this out is because I had so much success with my Yankee as far as putting the engine hook in it. If you guys remember, I used to use, well, let me take this back out. When I'd fly rockets like this that have no clips on the end, what you do is you take a motor and you just wrap tape around it like Joe did here, and you just insert that in there and it gets really, really tight. And that tightness is what keeps it in. So when it blows the ejection charge out the front, this in theory should stay in the rear. Well, I've had problems where the blowout ejection charge blows the motor out the back, and then there's no charge going up, and then the parachute never comes out, and that's like not good. And these are called friction fit. It's the friction of the motor that fits it into the tube. And Joe really turned me on to getting away from doing that and putting engine hooks, and that's what I did on my Yankee. If you guys remember, I'll show you the Yankee. This is the one I just flew the other day. So this was a friction fit motor, but I've converted it to have an engine hook on it. Just glued a little fairing on it, popped the hook into the tube, and now it holds the motors, and there's no chance of them popping out. So what I want to do is start modifying most, if not all, of my older friction fit motors or friction fit rockets to take a hook. So I've got a bag full of hooks, so I'm going to install a hook probably on this side and replicate what I did on the Yankee. So that's kind of why I brought this out, to show you in a future live stream. We may do that together as a group, but that's kind of my plan for that. And then also, I would love to build a new Viking, because you can see this thing it's pretty beaten. And a lot of these damages are because I had issues with the motor popping out the back end, and then nose planning. I've had to drill new holes for the altimeter because it scrunched up the nose. I had to cut it short. I can't tell you how many times I've repainted the nose cone. It looks new, but it's trust me, it's been through war and battle. But because I have literally a bulk box of those, I've got a bunch of Vikings on standby. So I've got a brand new Viking in the bag that I would love to do up from scratch, and that might be my next group build here on my live stream. We may build it's a very, very simple rocket. I mean, this won't take any time at all to build, but it's got just cardstock. Those aren't even balsa wood. Those are just cardstock fins, and we'll make it look interesting. Well, I love the look of it, so we'll probably keep the stock look, but we'll definitely make it look like new and try to keep it in pristine shape. So eventually we're going to build this as a group. Last thing I want to talk about rockets. If you guys remember that flight that I made in my last video, I had my Mini Mean Machine and the Yankee both had an onboard camera. Hold on, let me read what Curtis said. When you build a Viking, you can try building it with a removable baffle using that yellow engine spacer. I know this was brought up earlier, Curtis, a week or so ago, and I don't remember how you do that. I don't remember if you sent me something, didn't you? I'm drawing a blank, but I'll have to go back and research how to make a removable baffle. I think you sent me something, and now it's slipping my mind. That's what it was. It's on a thread. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and reread that. So that's a good opportunity, like you said, to try doing that. Oh, I just got a text from Don Brent from Retro Rockets about a rocket build he's doing, and he doesn't know we're live apparently. Anyway, so what I wanted to share with you guys is this is the camera that was on board the Yankee and the Mini Me Machine when I flew it the other day, and these are good cameras, but they're not great. As Curtis would say, they're probably good enough. But here's the problem with them. When you turn them on, you're going to see a little blue light come on right there. Okay, see that little blue light? Now, it's coming up pretty good on the camera, but let me tell you, out in the sunlight, that is invisible. Like, there's no way you can see that. Let me try to bring this. I'm bringing my spotlight in, and see how the light's kind of going away with a lamp on it. It's not easy to see. Let me turn the light off, and of course, now it's much brighter. So if you fly at night, that's no problem. But here is the problem. They want you to fly it with a cap on it. That protects the USB plug. Well, now how do you know if it's on? How do you know if it's blinking? Because when it's blinking, that means it's recording. That starts, you start that by hitting that button one more time. So they give you a cap to protect it, and it's really difficult to put the cap on when it's already mounted to the rocket. So it's like, what were they thinking? Not the greatest design. Let me turn this off. Oh, I think it turned off already. It timed out. Let me turn it back off. So what I've read in the forums is some people are taking these caps and they're drilling holes in them. I'm like, well, that's ingenious. At least you can see maybe through the hole. Well, just today I got an order in from Estes, and I got a brand new camera because sometimes these just die, like they quit working. For no rhyme or reason, they just quit working. And I've gone through, 3 or 4 of these things. This is my last one remaining. So I ordered another one, and it showed up today, and look what it's got. From the factory. They're coming with little holes drilled in them. So apparently word got back to Estes, hey, you need to you need to fix this. So they did. But like Chuck said, there are ways of modifying it, cut little notches out. It's just it's the principle of the thing that you shouldn't have to do something so simple when they should be doing that from the factory. So, but yeah, you're right, Chuck, and maybe I'll do that on this one. But for now, they're starting to come out with a pre-cut. So if you order a camera from Estes, the newer ones have pre-drilled holes. Just throwing that out there, letting you know. So now I'm back up to 2 cameras, which is great to have a backup. So there we go. All right. Can't believe there's 3 people watching. So I appreciate hobbyists, Curtis and Chuck. You guys are in here. I'm thinking maybe an alert didn't go out in time or something, because I had trouble getting, well, not trouble, but I couldn't decide what time to start. And I was telling hobbyists earlier, I think I changed my start time 4 different times till I settled on 5 o'clock. So engineers don't think. That's right. That's true. They're too smart. They don't have to think. They're just naturally just gifted, I guess. So, but anyway, let's get into this box here from Left Behind. Very, very curious. Oh, you did get an alert? Okay, but you didn't get like the 30-minute alert, did you, Chuck? I doubt you got that. Because normally I think you get like a heads up in 30 minutes is going live or something like that. But that is true, Curtis. So, all right, let's rip this open. I think I'm pretty sure we're going to end up with more baseball card stuff here. So we started with cards, then we went to Rockets for a bit. Now let's end with whatever Blake has sent. Am I opening the right side of this? I guess so. Yeah, it looks like he probably retaped the box there on top. Yeah, you didn't get the first one. Yeah, because I was messing with the start time. And of course, I got to be conscientious of Aaron and when they're going live. And although I know everyone's pretty courteous about, sharing live stream times. The problem is there's more of us now than there used to be doing live streams. And there's just not enough hours in the day for all of us to do it without overlapping at some point. So there's just really no way to avoid it. And oh my goodness, look at this. I guess he knows I'm back into the cards again. Wowza. Let's see, there's a note here. Let me see. All right, I can read this. It says, "Hey Kevin, long time no see, buddy. Hope all is well with you and the fam. Hope it's okay, but I accumulated some cards for you over the past few months. They're packaged in the form of Fairfields with a few other surprises. Enjoy, Blake." John 14:6. That is cool. That is very nice of him. And yeah, Fairfields, those are the Fairfield Fairfields that Left Behind used to make me. And I ran out of those months, maybe even a year ago. All right, so we got some content here for next live stream and many live streams to follow. So here is a prime pack. You still got the box. That box is priceless, Chuck. That box deserves to be in a museum. That was really something. I'm wondering if these are the two surprises. That says Gunslingers Football. Although you can see the blue tape, so we know it's been rewrapped. But look at these old boxes here. Yep, blue tape. So we got one Fairfield box. Two Fairfield. Man, these are heavy. Three Fairfield boxes. And four. I'm bumping the camera and knocking all sorts of stuff down, but all right, that is too cool. Okay, there's an empty box. We got some bubble things for the grandkids to play with later tonight. I'm sure their mom will thank me for it tomorrow morning. So there we go. Look at that. Four more Fairfields, followed by a Prime Pack and a Gunslingers. Now, this one, see, I'm being a pack searcher here. I'm trying to see what I can't even. He did a good job of doing this because I can't see who's who. I don't even. I'm trying to recognize that face. That face does not look familiar. It may not even be baseball. I don't know. Could be football because he gets football cards too. That is true. Left Behind times packs are fire. So, yeah, a whole lot of fire in these boxes. I'm not going to do them tonight, though. I did already open up a Fairfield. But now I've got at least maybe, we'll call it 6 more weeks worth of product for a Fairfield Friday type thing. And going to start planning my next rocket build. I'm going to go check out Curtis's thread on Rocket Forum regarding removable baffles. That is very intriguing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to let you all go. I know Ramona's got dinner for me downstairs. That was part of the reason I couldn't figure out when to do my live stream, trying to coordinate with her and dinner time and everything. But and Chuck, I don't want to spill the beans, and I'm not going to say too much, but there is a particular reason why I was asking you about your dates of travel, and I'll get with you. We might be doing some traveling as well, and and nothing's guaranteed. I don't know if we're traveling yet, but if we do travel, it may involve you. That's why I was asking, because we might be heading out to that side of the country. So I wanted to make plans with you. But based on what timelines you gave me, I think it will work. So, but I'll get with you later on more details. So, hey, Joe's in the house. Joe, we were doing some baseball card stuff, but we did some rocket stuff, and I was showing off my latest and greatest find, this excellently blue tape wrapped motor that was out of stage 1. And I will tell you, I kind of cheated, Joe, looking for this, because it was only about, it was probably within 10 feet, 10 yards of where you found the the yellow booster. So a little bit of cheating on my part. I kind of knew where to go look for it, but this was the last thing I went looking for because I kind of already knew where it would be in the general area. So got this as a memento. I hope we find more in the future. But just so you know, Joe, I walked from the pad where we parked in a direct line toward toward the arena, got all the way to the arena, crossed the paved road, and I searched all that field on the other side of the road too. So, and then I turned around and came all the way back to the van. So I covered all of the area that we thought it could possibly be in. But here's the problem. Now, don't do that, Chuck. You might kill me. That might hurt. That might be the last thing I ever do on this earth. Yeah, it was a long walk, and I'm pretty worn out right now. But the thing about the Yankees, and that's why I said it again, Chuck, you're right. I do say Yankee. I brought my Viking out to kind of show people what I've been looking for. The problem is the desert out here has some vegetation growing, and you get a lot of yellow and green flowers growing in the desert. Well, there's a problem when this is the color of your rocket, and Joe's Viking was the same color, so it's a struggle. And you're like, well, why can't you just find the parachute? Well, because the parachute is a yellow parachute too. So we've got everything going against us. But when I've flown this Viking, I've literally walked within probably 5 or 8 feet of it and missed it. And then I turned around, I was walking back, and I ran right into it. So you're like, well, why can't you find this? Because it's not easy. It's very small, a lot of brush, as Joe can attest to. A lot of bushes out there, a lot of stuff going on out there other than just flat brown dirt. So a lot of washes, a lot of rocks it could be hidden behind. So one of these days, Joe, one of these days, but just wasn't today or yesterday or the day before or the day before that. So, yep, yellow parachute, the 9-inch. I just don't know. See, Joe, one thing I was thinking of as I was tracking it down before I lost sight of it, as you know, the winds are doing all sorts of crazy things. And after I lost sight of it, it could have, well, remember when my Yankee was coming down, it was, Ethan just went live. Well, don't it again. Lots of, yeah. I've got bites. Oh, look, in fact, look at these bites. Look what I'm dealing with. I think an ant got me or something, but I've got bites on my arms. Yeah, we'll do it again. But anyway, if you remember the Yankee, it would come down, and then it really, a couple times that draft really drifted it sideways. So I'm thinking your Viking very much could have done the same thing. So, I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities. Yeah, my shins are pretty scratched up. Again, I got bites all over my arms. And I'm not sure where those, I told you one time I know an ant was on me and I got bit. I'm guessing that's what the other ones are too. So, gotta love the desert. But, Joe, have you checked out Curtis's thread on the removable baffles? Curtis reminded me of that because I'm thinking about building. I brought out another kit. I'm thinking about building another Viking, and he reminded me about his removable baffles. Have you seen that? Do you know anything about that? You have? Okay, I'm gonna look into doing that. I assume you're back home, Joe. You're back home safe and sound, and I'll just call her your sister for now, okay? Your sister made it back home yesterday, I hope. All went well. So, interestingly enough, Joe, my son was at the airport today, after you, obviously, because he just left a couple hours ago. But he had to fly to California for a football game, so he's on the road. Well, in the air, on the road, heading to California. You got home around 3. Good deal. Well, we'll definitely have to do it again. And I did talk to Don, and Don is definitely on board for coming out. In fact, he wants to bring his wife up with him and make it like a weekend out of it. But he agrees with us that he's going to wait till it cools off a little bit. So either the late fall, winter, or maybe next early spring time. So, but that's about all I've got, guys. Ethan just went live, so I'm going to go ahead and call it and go downstairs and eat some dinner while I watch Ethan, and then eventually Aaron will be going live FFS. So hopefully most of it, if not all of you, will be on Faith and Family stream later on. So we will see you all then. Ta-ta for now. Happy Friday. We'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend, and God bless. Bye-bye.